Welcome back, friends, to Let's Play some Final Fantasy XIV. We're on to Phase 3 of the plan, and that is entering the Castrum to disable the force field that's surrounding the Praetorium where the ultimate weapon is being held. Now, I need to apologize first and foremost for the awful butchering of the editing in this episode. This is actually the combination of two separate runs. One of which is obviously the one that contains the cutscenes here, and the other one is the one that contains the actual fighting. The reason I had to do that is because the first run went absolutely awful, and there was no way in heck I was posting that. Tanks were playing Leroy Jenkins, even though we told there was a ton of new people. I think 5 different people were first timers to this fight, and we told them we'd be watching the cutscenes. The majority rolled, and they would go ahead and pull everything. They locked people out. It was just a disaster. This one right here is not optimal, but it's still way better. And given the time crunch I'm on, I was actually on like recording episode about 95 or so when this run was actually, well, this attack run was actually recorded. Because I think you probably guess this is being post-commentated due to the butchering of the editing involved here. So our first goal here is we need to darken these searchlights because this area is, yeah, it's on quite the heavy alert. Now, apparently these people are really stupid and wearing sunglasses at night or something because most of them don't even see us. Now you gotta be a little bit careful turning off these searchlights, as that monk accidentally ended up pulling one. But it's alright. That airship looks rather odd. Almost looks like a grasshopper or something. Like I get like an insecty vibe by looking at it. I don't know if that's intentional or just me looking at things. So, since we have a bunch of new people, as you can see the first cut there, I cut out some of the trash like I would in like a regular dungeon, because we're going to be in here for quite a while with all the cutscenes. So as you can see, the first row of mooks there is completely gone, because they're like, oh, searchlight's not on, time for break. And they only left a few of them. And the enemy is going to wonder how the hell I got in. People are going to have a fun time answering their superiors. So once we clear that out of the way, I love how you can see various shots of the force field around. Oh, you got one of those, huh? Well, newsflash for you, bro. I know how all those things work, and I'm gonna totally take it down. So yeah, this is not unlike the fight we had when we stole the Reaper to begin with. The only real difference is, well, number one, it's a little harder. We don't have Sid with us to help, and obviously the mooks are going to be different. These are probably the same guys who went on break. They're like, oh crap, we're all going to get fired and possibly shot at if we don't go and take care of this problem. And we're like, yeah. You go ahead and attack me. You guys totally kidnapped my friends, and now you must die. And yes, I'm standing in front of it like a schmuck and getting shot at with the guns because they're AoE. But I care not. I'm more standing on the tank because usually the healer is the first one to pull on the ad, so if you hug the tank, it just gets them little bit more packed in tightly for everyone to AoE down. if you have a group that's really geared, a lot of people just have one of the tanks hold on to the ads, and you just kind of sit there and just burn the boss. Oh, hi! What's up? Well, hopefully you got in the front door okay and didn't actually attract any attention. Oh, he grew a backbone. I just hope we're not missing a faulty part and need to get another mammoth heart or something in here. Oh, so that's good. So there's only 3 of them we need to shut down. Alright. At least we know exactly what we're looking for. I mean, we knew we had to disable the force field, but we didn't know exactly how we were going to go about doing that. Okay, do you know that because you've been here? I mean, you are a Garlean, or have you somehow gotten intel from somewhere? I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's ever explained. But if anybody, you know, among us would know, it would be him. So it is rather fitting. So yeah, let's jump in the garbage chute. Hopefully there's no creepy monsters. No, okay, just scrap metal. Alright. Apparently they've taken the trash out lately. So we're gonna sneak along the wall right here. Because there's a Reaper that's over to our left. I don't know if you caught a glimpse of it. It patrols this little road here, and you can avoid it. So let's turn off the next searchlight. I don't know if you saw it very briefly. There was Reapers in the background that totally decided, oh, it's break time. Coffee break. But now we get other pesky devices to deal with. And we have white searchlights up ahead as well. I'm not sure why it's so dark in here. Like, I don't know if you can see it in my corner here, but it's daytime and it's only slightly cloudy, I think. But it's always dark in this place. Always. I don't know if this is implying, well, North Thanalan is too, but some kind of pollution or something, I don't know. I mean, it works for the atmosphere of the place, but it's just kind of funny. So these vanguards will drop the Incendiary 37, which is an explosive. Why these things are carrying explosives, I don't know. Self-destruct mechanism, maybe? And here the tank is a little new, so they're asking questions. Yeah, if you actually step into these searchlights, it's gonna summon crap to try to take you out. So it's not like you're gonna be forced to start over or anything like that and get kicked out and make your way back here if you get caught. It's just more of a mild inconvenience than anything else. You still want to avoid it, but it would be really sucky if it like sent you back to the start, or at least back to the garbage disposal. Because people would be trolling left and right if that was the case, I guarantee you. So we have another vanguard right up ahead. And because duty lists and stuff spoil, we know that they're going to drop another Incendiary 37. guessing the first 36 didn't work. So in here is the lovely cerulean pump. You can see all this lovely goop. And we want to cause a severe disruption. And apparently we have very keen eyes for unstable panelings. So what do? We blow that shit up. And we're going to contaminate it. And a nice little touch, the water is at, well, it's not water, but you know what I mean. Actually does, at least in the tin there, it does actually briefly turn red, because that's what the stuff spilling out of here is. Ew. So yeah, that ought to incapacitate them for a little while. You see it's even sparking. You can actually have a ninja use sneak to get behind the mobs to blow it up without pulling everything, but that takes just as long anyway, so you might as well kill stuff. So you're gonna sneak along the wall here again. Okay, the searchlights are back on. That's right, they're not that stupid, amazingly. And someone did step in the searchlight, hence why we were discovered by the craft. Oh no. But shh, they can't see us anymore. So now all the impure ceruleum has shorted out one tower of the defense shield. And the airship has decided it's got enough of our bull crap. Alright. So this guy is pretty much, I mean, we faced one before. They're like no different from the Reapers. It's just a hell of a lot more Imperials that'll come after you and try to murder you, and a bit more AoEs, but it's pretty much exactly the same fight again. Good times. I love how we have my shut-up layer and the other Scholar Sacred Soil on top of one another. They only override one on each other when you're the one using it. I guess it would be too difficult to program it where you have two different people's buffs overriding each other, especially if they weren't in the same party. That would be really difficult to program, so I can understand why that's an oversight. So a lot of these are archers, and we'll put some dots on you, but thankfully they don't do that much damage, so you don't really need to center them off unless you're really bored or somebody's taking a lot of damage from something. I don't want my fairy paralyzed. Will you stop shooting lightning at my bum, please? Thank you. Uh-oh, I see more approaching. Oh no! It's okay, we got this though. We got this. People are no match for me. How long this fight takes when you have a bunch of new people. Not as many as the first time I came in here, but we still get a bunch. So it's still mildly, I don't want to use the word difficult, but not face roll worthy, at least with this group. Everybody gets an A for effort. Cheers, everybody. I think here we're going to see one of the consistencies in editing. Yeah. Because of the nature of recording the cutscene and having the actual battle on two different files. So Sid has repaired our Magitech Reaper! Hooray! You are very observant, sir. And I did it all by myself. Well, it might not have been Sid. They probably just heard that explosion and not necessarily saw you. Oh, yeah! So even though we already technically picked up the Imperial Key, because this is a run, you see it picked up twice. So yeah, Sid is going to follow us now. Since he blasted us a hole right in here. Go for it, Sid. Go for it. Nice shot. I want to see some pretty damn cheap metal. Because that didn't seem like much. And he just blew that thing wide open. Now he'll actually take care of this first set for you. You can keep going and you don't need to worry about it. What we want to do is we want to actually pull ahead. Where we have cannons! Now, it's time to heal or I get to be lazy and just sit here and heal. But basically, you use these cannons, while trying to avoid them getting hit by AoEs, to blow this stuff up. You can still take it out the traditional way, but the cannons are much more efficient. That's what the blue circles are, is between the Sid and the cannons, blowing them up. And we want to turn on the searchlight too, because these death claws are going to come after us otherwise, if we proceed. Same as before. Always turn off the lights. Give yourself less chance to be spotted. With a bunch of cannons down, my poor tank is getting a little overwhelmed here, but nothing I can't handle. But yeah, it's so great we actually have, you know, an NPC actually helping us in a dungeon for once. Sid, you are awesome. So this Colossus over here, unfortunately, if you can see him in the background, does not go away. And he's got a fair amount of health, so we want to use the cannons to blow him up. And Sid's just going to stand there like a schmuck. He's like, nah, I did all the other ones, so you take care of it. And you want to stun that, by the way, because he'll go after the cannons, and that sucks. You can do without the cannons in this place, but it just makes everything a hell of a lot easier and more efficient. So Sid is going to sit here and park his butt here. He's going to wait until the way is clear, which is kind of stupid because he's got the guns and the cannons. But I suppose if they attack the Reaper, he's kind of not as much of a use to us, so I guess I can kind of let him go for that. So there's another set of cannons up front, which obviously we're going to put to good use. Just drag these suckers right over there. Why they have random cannons in this place that are not aimed toward the sky, that I don't know. Maybe they're prototypes and this is a test site or something. I don't know. That's the only explanation I can think of for why they have cannons in their own place that are set to fire on their own creatures. Yeah, video game logic, but I try to make like actual logic out of stuff. yeah, the cannons take off, each shot takes off a huge chunk of their health because it ignores defense. And now that we've cleared that out of the way, Sid is going to come up and follow us. And now we sit with a thumb up our butt while we wait. Because we actually need Sid in order to progress here. Because what are we going to do? I see like another kind of airship over there. Is it the same one? Basically, if you look around the room, you find you're stuck. And you can only come back the way you came. So basically, he's working on blowing up the next tower. Meanwhile, we have these death claws to attend to. And now we have this to contend with. And the airship is now taking off. Where it's surprisingly not going to shoot at us during this fight. Surprisingly. Why that is, I'm not really sure, but maybe because they got this Colossus, which I'm going to assume in universe came out of the ship. That's just my personal explanation again. That they figured, meh, I'll get better things to do. So if you notice, these death claws here actually have no name on them. Sid is actually going to blow them up for you. It's your job to take out all the other ones. What a bro. So yeah, this is going to take a little while, because we're not quite the powerhouses that speedrunners are, but it's okay. We'll get it done. Sid is still working over there. They currently have the spire well protected, so it's going to take quite a while. He says that multiple times, actually. It's like, oh, it's enhanced. Yes, we heard you the first time, Sid. We know. We know. We never find out what he's actually thinking of, by the way. It's not like he does anything to disable the power on it or anything. He just kind of helps you out a tiny little bit in this fight while he does his stuff. But he's still a bro. Also, don't forget all the other friends around there who are providing distractions so we can actually, and blockades and whatnot, so we can actually get in here and not be attacked by the full force of the Empire. Even though I'm pretty sure when Mr. Ritalin died, and he, right before, when he sent his men away, be like, yeah, warn them, they're coming! They either couldn't stop us all, or they didn't take the threat very seriously. I don't know. So this Vanguard here, you actually don't have to kill. It's actually somewhat typical for one of the tanks to just sit there and hold it while everybody goes after the Colossus. But yeah, AoEs everywhere, crap everywhere, but even though it looks pretty hectic, it's really not. But then again, maybe I'm just used to all this, so my opinion here is probably incredibly biased. I know someone commented in a previous video how many fights I did in the actual Imperial outfit when I was disguised, even though at the time the battles take place you can actually swap it out for your regular gear set, and the Imperial gear set is level 1, by the way, and I don't think it has any stats on it. So I'm sitting there wearing a hat and a dress that has absolutely no benefit to me whatsoever. But I have a fairy to heal me, so unfair advantage on that front. So, I live dangerously. Alright. So the small guns aren't really working, so he's bringing out the big one. Look at that smirk on his face. Well, unfortunately, we drained the battery in this thing. But we have 2 towers knocked out, so that is fantastic. Oh, hi there. Yeah, you're a little late here. You know, we already kind of blew up one generator just before this. Surprised that didn't attract your attention. Well, granted, it was caused by a shortage. But who do you think blew up one of the panels to contaminate the thing anyway? Alright, so once again we get an identification key, but again, we don't have any way to go. Well, actually, yes we do. One of the interesting things about this place is it's actually non-linear. This door was previously closed and leads us right back out to the original cannons. It's kind of just a convenient shortcut. So what normally happens is all the DPS stays on these cannons. Unfortunately, we only have one left, so we kind of have to improvise a little bit. But remember when we came up here in the first place, this is where Sid blasted, once he joined us, blasted open the door. If we go to the left here, we actually find this Colossus, and there's actually 2 terminals that we needed the passkey for. And now that we actually have the passkey, we can actually make use of this place. So usually what happens is the tank will grab this Colossus, bring it back to the cannons for people to nuke down. Good times. There are still people who use the back set of cannons if this one's is not working, but it takes a while to drag them that far, so not a lot of people do that anymore. Yeah, see, without all 4 cannons, he takes much longer to perish. So why they have, I don't know why I like to jump around for no reason. So I don't know why they have 2 terminals here. It would be interesting if you were required to activate them somewhat together. Now this place is loaded with enemies. But this little group that's right in front of us is actually 100% skippable. Somebody pulled a dumb, and as you can see, pulled that. But you don't want to do that. They actually won't notice you unless you really get up in their face or you attack them first. And thankfully it doesn't pull the whole group, because you would be utterly screwed if you did that. So with little to no cannons, where we just took them out the old-fashioned way. But what we want to do instead, and I stayed out here just to make sure nobody died. So you can see somebody darkened the searchlight. There's actually 2 mobs right up above here. You can see that white light is where the first searchlight was darkened. So who knows what they were planning to do with those Colossus. Maybe since now one of the tribunals knows we're here, perhaps she sent them out as a deterrent, ready to send out if need be. So yeah, we're playing a little stealthy here to get up to the second one. Turn off this searchlight. Now here's another little bit of discontinuity in here, because I'm sitting here watching this cutscene. So you're going to see a bunch of messages appear on the screen. Ignore them. Conveniently, we have anti-aircraft guns right here in front of us. Again, I'm not quite sure why we have anti-aircraft guns in this place. I'm guessing it's for testing purposes, you know, for their army and, you know, shooting other potential airships out of the sky. That's just my guess. So this thing is hovering above us, And we want to fire these anti-aircraft guns, but we also have these other Colossus who are come after us. As you can see, that other group completely disappeared once we didn't have the area on high alert anymore. And the airship is actually shooting at us now. It didn't do before, but it certainly is now. And it can actually hurt the aircraft cannons, which sucks. They will eventually respawn because you will be permanently stuck here if that didn't happen. So once you shoot at it enough, its hull disappears, and you shoot it like 2 or 3 more times, and it crashes. Conveniently right into the other control tower. Woohoo! Well, you made no attempt to stop us yourself. Situation where she is now going to remedy herself. Yeah, he's still lagging behind a little bit. Are you hitting on me? I don't think I'm interested, madam. But thank you for the offer anyway. So yeah, you can actually have that cutscene appear right in the middle of taking out these Colossus. It's actually hilarious. Now, yeah, normally you would pull these guys to the cannons, but with no working cannons down on the bottom level left, we gotta do it the old-fashioned way! Now, a quick warning here, this fight did not go as smoothly as it's supposed to go. I left it in because, like I said, I was not going to record this a 3rd damn time. This whole place with cutscenes is like 40-something minutes long, and yeah. So basically, she's here on her Magitech armor, which is actually mostly impenetrable to your attacks. They still do damage, but it's so little, and you'll seriously be here like and run out of time before you can actually do enough damage to kill her. So we need to actually dismount her from this thing, and conveniently, we have artillery cannons with which to help us. Why she didn't dismantle these things or turn them off or something, I don't know. She's a freaking idiot. So thankfully these Deathclaws aren't here to kill you. They're here to load the cannons for you. Because these missiles are very, very big, as you can see. So we will not be able to load them by conventional means. Now, someone actually already fired a cannon at her. But what you actually want to do is you want to wait till all 4 cannons are loaded and then fire them all at the same time. She takes 8 cannon shots in order to be dismounted. And she actually has no traditional aggro table. She'll actually attack the person who fired the most recent cannon. And I think every 2 shots fired, she summons a bunch of adds. So that's one reason why, I'm pretty sure it's 2, I might be wrong about that, but that's one other reason why you want to fire them all at once. Not only does it make the fight go faster, but she'll only summon the adds once. Because by the time you fire at her the second time, she's down to 0 health on the armor, so you only have to deal with them just that one time after the first round of shots, making this much more efficient that way. So usually the DPS stay on the cannons, and I, as a healer, tend to stand around like a schmuck and just make sure the cannons are loaded and manned and whatnot. Usually somebody counts down the shots, so you can all fire together. But yeah, if she does too much damage to the cannon, they will actually be temporarily disabled. They will eventually respawn, but it prolongs the fight. Because this should be, you know, very simple and easy. And again, there's a couple new people in here who didn't realize what to do. And nobody was listening to instructions when I actually typed them in. So yeah, it's a cluster F right now, but Except for the cannons, a little just the regular gunfire shots on the Magitech armor here. This armor is pretty freaking strong, but the guns are like... It's like getting hit with a bunch of ping balls. It barely does any damage whatsoever. It's like you're slightly more likely to sustain more damage from a pillow fight than getting shot at by this thing. Like, it is seriously just... You just stand there and take it. Like, anybody can just stand there and take it, and you're not gonna die from this thing. It's like nigh impossible. You might want to get that fixed. That's because my power of the Echo isn't really useful here. Like, I can't just turn the damn thing on at will. Remember, you tried to interrogate somebody. Yeah, and in the first run, they actually pulled on me, as you can see. But I'm actually inside the room, so I'm not going to be locked out. But yeah, remember, she tried to interrogate Nymphilia about the power of the Echo, because pretty much one of the only things they know about it is the immunity it gives against the Primals, which, considering the Garleans consider them an enemy too, would be incredibly useful to them. And unfortunately, she got no answers out of it. So she don't know jack crap about the Echo, so don't you be talking, woman. Hooray for discontinuity! But yeah, you appear on the inside, so even if somebody does a Leroy Jenkins and pulls, you're still not going to be locked out of the fight. Well, assuming you're inside when the cutscene happens. If you're not, you might be shit out of luck. So now we actually get to fight her proper. It's almost a shame you didn't actually get to see her and Ida actually duke it out and fight. Because honestly, I think it would be very interesting. She's a close combat fighter, like similar like Ida is, and a lot of her attack names are amphibian-based. I don't know if that has any significance or anything. I don't know much about legends, considering, or anything of the like, mythology, whatever you want to call it, regarding such creatures, so I don't know if this has any sort of significance to it, but it's just an interesting thing to note. It's not something you see that often. So I actually only found this out recently. She'll actually summon the ants to attack a specific person. Because in one of the runs I was on recently, even though I've done this place like 150 times. Oh, there it is. Okay, it is this run. Yeah, notice how that little symbol was on me? And they're gonna come after me. That's the first time in like 150, 200 runs that this has actually happened to me. Like, I didn't even know this until I recorded this. I'm like, because if you notice, my aggro table is all green, but they're still beating the crap out of me. I had no idea. The things you learn, I can't believe in that many runs of this game, I've never had this happen to me. I don't know who they attack. I don't know if it's random or they pick a specific job, because I've done everything in this place. I've DPS'd, I've healed it, I've tanked it, I've done like literally everything. And never ever had this happen before. So yeah, she herself is pretty much just a tank and spank. This Colossus, if you're really... In the old days, people would actually take this thing out before returning to her. Simply because everyone was in fresh 50 gear and it could very easily get overwhelming. But even though we still have a couple new people here, we still have enough power to take her out before this Colossus actually becomes a problem. So if you get close enough to her, she actually has a few things to say in the battle, but unfortunately, because it's too quiet and I'm not close enough to her, you can't really hear anything. Like, she talks about toying with us and everything like that. And how pissed we made her. So what have you had to say for yourself now? I have indulged you in my talents. And you're gonna fall over and cry. Wuss. it with people just keeling over and dying mid-sentence. Pretty sure that's not how it works in real life, but this is a fantasy world, so... Actually, her relationship with Gaius was kind of creepy, actually. Plot contrivance, Sid. Plot contrivance. So phase 3 of the plan is now complete. We have disabled the generator that was blocking the Praetorium. We have another one of the tribunals down and defeated. Awesome. Still one more left, whom we haven't encountered yet. But I'm quite sure we will. Quite sure. So yeah, apologies for the cluster F that was this episode, and I'll see you next time.